It's Sunday, December 29th, 2024. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm going to share a few articles with you. Feel free to comment down below on any of these articles. Let me know your thoughts on this. But I want to start today. I was reading an article this morning on the amount of retailers that have closed this year and how we're being told on a daily basis, and we've been told this for years, that the economy is doing fine, businesses are doing well, the average American household's doing well, the consumer is doing well, everything is wonderful. Stock market is up. And when you look at some of these numbers, they're quite startling. Things aren't so good. U.S. retailers have projected over 7,100 store closures by the end of November 2024, making a 69% increase compared to the same period in 2023. And just a list, this is just a short list of some of the store closures that we have seen in 2024. Family Dollar, 677 closures, CVS 586 closures, Big Lots 580 closures, Conn's 553, Rue 21 543, 7-Eleven 492, Rite Aid 408, 99-cent stores 371, American Freight 353, Walgreens has closed 259 stores, and the list goes on. How could anybody believe that things are doing well? I mean, years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, we were doing videos on the retail apocalypse. This has been collapsing. We've been in this collapse for many, many years. And this whole thing is going to come to a head at some point, ladies and gentlemen. And just because the stock market is up does not mean that the economy is doing well. In fact, your economy has been sacrificed for the U.S. stock market. Americans applying for unemployment benefits rose to the highest level in 3 years. Again, not a good sign for the economy. And I would forecast that in 2025, we're going to see unemployment rise much higher. And we're going to see these claims continue to rise. And we're going to see more and more people become dependent on the system, because most people are going to continue to spend as long as they have credit cards. They're going to continue to try and maintain some type of lifestyle, middle-class lifestyle. They're just not going to give it up. And so instead of living below their means and putting some money away, putting an emergency fund away, putting some cash away, buying some gold or silver, getting ready for a rainy day, people don't do that. They're living for today. They want that instant gratification. They are not going to just leave the middle class without a fight. And the only way many people now are remaining in the middle class is by using multiple credit cards. They're spending so much money. They're going deeper into debt just to front a lifestyle. And they're going to pay a very serious price here as this economy continues to erode. A decade of McFlation. This I was reading on The Hedge today. Fast food joints used to be the go-to choice for convenient, budget-friendly meals. But over the years, it says, they have become increasingly tough on the wallet. It is really now literally a luxury to just go out to lunch. It's a real luxury if you can afford to go out to dinner, especially if you can go to a decent restaurant. But it's becoming a luxury now for many people just to go to a fast food restaurant. They put up some data here from 2014 to 2024. Just a couple examples here. The McChicken is up 199%, the McDouble up 168%. An order of medium fries from 2014 to 2024 has increased in price 138%. Quarter pounder with cheese, the meal up 122%. The Big Mac up 50%. And let me remind all of you, the size of these portions has drastically decreased from where they are today. If you look at a Big Mac today, and I haven't had a Big Mac in years, but if you look at a Big Mac today compared to a Big Mac 20 years ago, it's not even close. I mean, it has shrunk so much compared to a Big Mac of 20 years ago. And you know, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I don't think the food was as dangerous or as poisonous as it is now. I think one word of advice I can give everybody today is really, as we enter 2025, try to cut as much of this out. Look, I'm guilty. Every once in a while, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to have some fast food. But I have really, really cut a majority of fast food out. If I'm going to have a fast food burger, I go to In-N-Out. I don't go to McDonald's. I don't go to Burger King. I don't go to Jack in the Box. I'll go to In-N-Out. I enjoy an In-N-Out once a week, but that's about it. I've really cut out a lot of fast food, and I feel better. I'm in better shape for it. I'm trying to optimize. And if I can give anybody any type of advice today, cut this stuff out. Even if you just start cutting out a little bit, cut it out and gradually cut more of it out. You're going to feel better. You're going to look better. You're going to live longer. This stuff has so much poison in it. It is really, really scary what is in this food today that we're eating, and you really need to stay away from it. The bond markets are revolting. Ed Dowd. Another article on the hedge today. Massive spending and fraud has propped up a failing economy, he says. We borrowed from the future to create more government jobs and imported a lot of people from all over the world that don't add to the economy. But we're paying for all these people and we're not getting anything in return. And this is another problem. We're paying for all these government jobs. We're paying for all these people to come over here. What are we getting in return? We're not getting much for our money. And people are beginning to wake up and realize that the amount of foreign assets in our stock market has never been higher. The price will be paid in 2025, he says. The bottom line is there will be pain coming regardless. Dowd likes gold as part of a portfolio, and he is suggesting people get some cash in hand. Not cash in the bank, not cash in 3 different banks or 4 different banks. You need to be putting physical cash somewhere where you can get to it. These people that keep telling you, well, the banks are all collapsing, they're in bad shape, but just put your money in 5 different banks, put your money in 3 different banks. I would say keep enough money in the bank or banks to pay your bills. But if you know the banks are in bad shape, if you know they're collapsing, if you know that they're in big trouble, if you know that that something's going to happen in the banking system, why would you put your money in 3, 4, or 5 different banks if you know that the entire banking system is in trouble, which it is? So, be careful with that. But if you don't hold it, you don't own it. Do not put gold, silver, any physical assets in a safe deposit box anywhere. You need to put it somewhere where you can get to it. The banking system is in very, very big trouble. It is loaded with debt. And we're going to see, I believe, a lot of banks in 2025 get themselves into very, very big trouble, especially everything that's happening with commercial mortgage-backed securities, these small regional banks especially. Very, very big trouble. So don't trust the banking system, ladies and gentlemen. It is in very, very big trouble. Doug Casey on 2024's defining events and what comes next. This is on The Hedge. If you get a few minutes, take a few minutes, read these articles, Google them, check them out. He says the dollar has lost 98% of its value since the Fed was created 111 years ago. I think if you went to the average person on the street, maybe one day we'll do a video and we'll go out and ask some people, how much has your dollar lost in purchasing power over the last 111 years? How many people do you think would even know the answer to this? I would say probably 1 out of 1,000 would say 98%. 1 out of 1,000. He says the question is not whether the Fed is going to adjust rates up or down, it's whether we will have a 1923 style German runaway inflation or a 1929 style catastrophic deflation. I think we're going to see stagflation, in my opinion. That's what I think. Inflation, deflation, stagflation. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I think we're going to see some areas of deflation, some areas of inflation, but I think overall we're going to see stagflation in America, and that's just what I think. My opinion. Let me know your thoughts. Please comment down below. This is a really good question here. What are we going to see? Deflation, inflation, stagflation? What are we potentially going to see? Could it be something even worse? Please comment down below and let me know. I'm going to finish with this last article also from the Hedge today. It's titled, "We tested 300 Bay Area foods for plastic chemicals. Here's what we found." I'm not going to go too in depth in this article. If you get a few minutes, check it out. But one thing that really stood out was they tested the ribeye steak at Whole Foods, and they found it to be very, very high on the list for plastic. The test found 86% of the foods tested had plastic chemicals in them. But you would think that you go to the butcher at Whole Foods, that you would not be getting plastic in your ribeye for $23, $25 a pound. The food system today, ladies and gentlemen, is so poisonous. But this was really shocking. And it gives a list of all these foods that they tested, the chemicals in these foods. Our food system is absolutely been poisoned. You have to be so careful what is in your food, what is on your food. It is really, really scary. But the ribeye steak at Whole Foods, which you would think would be high quality, loaded with plastic. What do you think about this? Really, really shocking. So I'm going to leave it there today. Let me know your thoughts on any of this. But there's so much happening around the world. Who knows what we will wake up to tomorrow? We'll see what the markets do. We'll see what the metals do. We'll see what the cryptos do. It'll be a very, very interesting week as we get closer and closer to the new administration coming in. And I do believe that they are really going to throw a mess into the lap of this new administration. I pray for this country, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that all of you are praying for this country because your kids are going to be left with a mess. I cannot repeat myself enough about the massive debt in this country. It is not going to be fixed in a year. It is not going to be fixed in 2 years. We have got a disaster, a debt disaster on our hands. And if it's even possible to repair, it's going to take years to do. So it's going to really be an interesting 2025. Let me know your thoughts on that. Do you think this country can get back on track, or are we past the point of no return? Let me know your thoughts. God bless every one of you. Thanks for tuning in. Be safe out there. Talk to all of you very, very soon.